In the story of Chronicles and King, we are introduced into many different kings like King David, King Solomon, but we're also introduced to a bunch of other kings. Some kings who did good by the eyes of the Lord, some kings who did bad by the eyes of the Lord. At the end of the day, regardless of all that, Israel wanted a king, and they did not trust God, who wasn't there in the physical form, to be that king. And it wasn't until much later where Jesus Christ came down to earth and became the king that we always had and needed. It's important to remember that Jesus is always on the throne. He always will be on the throne. And we have peace knowing that Jesus did end up becoming the king that we needed, even though that was what we didn't want. Like, Israel straight up said, like, we need a king. We want a king. And God gave us that king in the form of many ways, but at the end of the day, the promise was Jesus becoming king of all. When you look at all these kings who made almost no progression, there was literally no progression happening. Our world was still in disarray, and until Jesus came down to die for our sins, and we were trusting our favor in the hands of a human king. And that's where the problem comes from. That's why we must always have trust in Jesus. John 16 says that Jesus has overcome the world, and in him you will have peace. And if you try to become of the world, you will have tribulation.